Test, test, test. All right. Good morning, everybody. Oh, my goodness gracious. This is going to be a long signing day. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, that's way better. I'm Coach Sanders, but I hadn't had a chance to get to know you guys yet. I'm the athletic coordinator here. Have been here since the school opened, and so Vandegrift is very near and dear to my heart. And every sport here, I am so proud of as athletic coordinator. And in days like today, it just make me even more proud. Because as you look at these wonderful young people, what you're seeing is not just not just young people sitting at a table that's nice and decorated with balloons. What you're seeing is hours and hours of commitment, blood, sweat, and tears, frustrations, really being excited, and everything in between. And so that's what you're looking at right now, besides just some great young people. And so we're so happy to host you guys today. I do want to recognize a couple people before we get going. Speakers, when you come up, you can feel free to take your mask off when you speak. We've got several coaches here. A lot of different sports are represented today. And what we'll do is we'll start down here with Ethan, and then we'll just go all the way across. The mic only goes so far, so whoever's speaking will just get as close as they can to the person they're talking about, and then we'll move all the way down. A couple of thoughts. Number one, parents, if you need restrooms, they're right around the corner. If you like, you see our little backdrops here that we have. The only thing we ask is if you want to take a picture with those behind, please do so, but just we ask that you pick it up and move it. A few years ago, we had someone who should remain nameless drug it across the gym, the entire gym, and my basketball coach almost had a heart attack that day. So let's pick it up and move it that way. Guest-wise, I know we are also welcoming Merle Bertrand today. He runs our live stream. I want to give Merle a hand for being here. Welcome everybody that's watching, grandparents, cousins, people, Wisconsin, who knows where everybody's from. But we're glad you're here, and hopefully you enjoy this insight into your young person's life. And then I know we've got our athletic directors watching. We also have Lynette from 4 Points News. You want to give her a hand for covering us. The job she's done with the paper, in addition to always being everywhere. So Lynette, we appreciate you, and it's still very special with all of the internet stuff. It's still very special to see your child's picture in the paper and all that kind of stuff. So we appreciate all that you do for the community. Okay, how about let's get started? Y'all ready? Yeah? Okay. All right. So I'm going to stretch this as far as I can here, and we're going to start with Ethan McKinley. Ethan is signing to play college lacrosse. So his coach is here, Coach Cometti. Before I turn it over to Coach, I just want to say one quick thing, because Ethan played for us in football too. And it makes me so proud to see young men doing multiple things, because it is so hard to do one sport at a 6A school, much less multiple things. In addition to balancing all the school stuff that every young person here has to do in a really academically rigorous high school like Vandegrift. And so Ethan has handled that very well. One of our leaders on our team, a great teammate, a great friend, and positively changed our locker room environment for the better every single day he walked in there. So Ethan, I can just tell you, as a football staff, before Coach takes over, I know Coach is going to talk about the lacrosse field, as a football staff, we want to tell you we really appreciate you and we miss you next year. And I know you're going to do amazing at your next stop. So anyway, Coach Cometti, you want to come on up and feel busy. I'll give a hand for Coach Cometti.
Thank you, Coach Sanders. And first off, congratulations to all the athletes. Pretty impressive to see this number. I don't remember seeing this many signing, at least since I've been here. But I'm here to talk about Ethan McKinley. And I first met Ethan, it's about 7 years ago. It was right when I moved down to Austin, and I took the assistant coaching job at Vandegrift. And I was giving a lot of lessons to players in the area and all over Austin. Ethan was 6th grade at the time. And I learned working with a lot of 6th graders, kids at that age, that when you're giving them lessons, there has to be a balance, right? You got to push them a little bit, right, to make sure they're getting something out of it, but at the same time, you got to keep it light, you got to take some breaks to keep them engaged and make sure, they're having fun. But with Ethan, it was a little different. When I worked with him, we took maybe 1-2 breaks a session, and that was more so because I needed a break. that he wanted to break. Because he just had that drive, he had that motor, he was constantly trying to get better, always asking questions. As a coach, obviously that's what you want to see in a player, but you also knew that someday he was going to be a great player. Fast forward 5 years, he was a sophomore in high school. And his sophomore year, 2019, we finished second in the district. It was one of our better years as a program. And Ethan, standing at about 5'5", $125, ended up being a starting midfielder for us. And it wasn't because of his size and his athleticism. It was because of his skill and his IQ, from all those years of hard work that got him to that starting spot. And he continued to develop through that year. He developed through his junior year, that ended up getting cut short. And then sometime this last summer, or fall, Ethan took like a quantum leap as a lacrosse player. And what I mean by that is, it was the same Ethan who was competitive off his skill and his IQ alone. Now pair that with one of the fastest, most athletic guys on the field. And as you can imagine, that makes for a pretty special player. And that's what we have in Ethan today. And that's why it's, if any of you have seen him play this year, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why it's no surprise that he's been selected as an All-State nominee by all the coaches in the area. And actually, he doesn't even know this yet. He's also been selected as a U.S. Lacrosse All-American. It's been a pleasure coaching Ethan, and I know at Lynn University he's going to do some big things. He's just hit his stride as a player. And Ethan, thank you for a great 4 years. Looking forward to the next week and a half. Love you, buddy.
All right, so what we'll do each time, just so we can, so the family will come up, I kind of forgot to say that, they'll take pictures like this right here, and then the next coach will go from there. So we'll give them like 30 seconds to take pictures, and they'll fake sign or sign the paper if they have, or whatever they want, and then when they're done, we'll move on. Coach Jensen, you want to come on down?
Hello, everyone. We're here today on the swim team to talk about Addie Auris here. Got a lot I could say about Addie. I'm going to keep my comments brief because there's many stories to tell, but I want to hit the highlights to honor this amazing swimmer here. Addie is no doubt probably the most talented swimmer I've known in the 12 years that I've been coaching all ages of this sport. I've known Addie longer than just the 2 years that I've been her high school coach. I've coached and lived in this area for over 10 years. So I can speak about that with a lot of stories, but I'll just start with saying, at least in the sport of swimming and at least here in Texas, athletes like Addie, they choose to go year-round in this sport, and I mean 12 months of the year round, by a pretty young age. Often for sure by middle school, so age 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. They're swimming all year. They're usually practicing by high school 6 days a week, and several of those days are double practices in the day, a couple hours each practice. So that adds up, 8, 9, 10 practices a week. It's a commitment. It's all the way through the winter, and in Texas we swim in outdoor pools all year. So on those 30, 40 degree mornings, they're in their swimsuit on the deck, about to get in a heated, but a pool of water. So it's a commitment. Addie is a very highly decorated varsity swimmer. She's a 3-time Vandegrift school record holder. She's a 2-time girls team MVP. She's been an all-district, all-region, and all-state qualifier all 4 years of her schooling here. This year, she was the only member of our team that advanced to the state meet of our entire team, boys and girls combined, in both of her individual events, as well as the relay. She's one of only 2 girls, I'm realizing today, in our entire Leander School District that made it in any individual event to the state meet. The state eliminated 8 spots that could go to the state meet for COVID spacing, so less athletes made it. One of those individual events that Addie made it in was a new event for her to swim, not completely new to her, but to swim in our high school program. She made it all the way to state in that event, one of the hardest events to swim. So I can't say enough about her swim ability. But she's a standout swimmer in all events, not just a few. She's also an All-A National Honor Society student, a very well-rounded young lady. So I'm pleased to announce Addie's going to be swimming and attending Highest Military Service Academy, U.S. Air Force Academy, and entering a time of service for our country in that role. So that we're sad to see her go, but they're going to be very honored to have her. What an addition to the academy. So congratulations, Addie. We could all give her a warm round.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Garrett Peckart. I'm a new tennis coach here at Vandegrift High School. This is my first year. It's an honor to see so many athletes here that are excelling not only in school, but at the top tier of their sport and moving on to the college level. And it's my great honor to present a member of the Vandegrift tennis team, Zachary Fowler. Zachary's a lefty. If you know anything about tennis, that's given him a secret advantage all these years to make it to the college level now. He's going to be playing for Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene, a little bit away from here. But if you know anything about college tennis in Texas right now, that's not just any old school. It takes a lot to make it to Hardin-Simmons tennis team right now. They just won conference in men's and women's tennis in Texas and are moving on to play the conference tournament soon and beyond. So it's been my pleasure to get to see Zach grow as a player ever since he was starting out in his formative years in tennis. I knew him just from being in the Austin area and being active in the tennis scene in the past. And what a crazy coincidence when I found out that I was getting to come to the high school that Zach was at. So seeing him grow from a player on court who's just learning to rally and just learning to compete against other boys his age into one of the top 50 players in Texas has been amazing to watch. And Zach has kept up with everything in school to graduate this year and get to play for Hardin-Simmons next year. So wish I could have convinced him to go to my college, Samir Hardin-Baylor, but right now he's going to be at a stronger program. So give it up for Zach Fowler.
Here to talk about Josh Mason, Mayo today. Cool thing about Josh is his work ethic. I mean, this guy, when he came in as a freshman, he had an older brother, okay, who was really tall by the time he was senior, right? And so we had Big Mayo, we had Little Mayo, affectionately is what we called him. And then Josh just absolutely started living in the weight room. And he really blew up in between his junior and senior year. Just the work ethic that he had a drive, he had a passion. Balls started jumping off his bat, and just the amount of respect that he has from his teammates, from his coaches, is second to none. I know that all his teammates would tell you the same thing, that they could trust that he was going to put the work in and want to do whatever he could for the team. And so we're so happy for Josh that he gets to go off to McKinnon Community College, get an opportunity just to keep playing the game, man, and play it till he can't anymore. And so, Josh, we're super proud of you. Love you, man, and go make big things happen.
All right, good morning. I'm Coach Mott, I'm a wrestling coach here at Vandegrift High School. I'm here to introduce and talk to you about Noah Gosford. Noah has been part of the wrestling program for 4 years, and I think I've coached more matches with him pretty much than anybody else except one young man who graduated last year. So it's going to be weird next year not having Noah on the mat, but excited about his opportunities. Noah is going to attend and wrestle at Indiana University. If you know anything about wrestling, wrestling lives in the Big Ten, and so it's a huge accomplishment for Noah to be able to go wrestle at a Big Ten university. They dominate pretty much wrestling in the NCAAs every year, so really excited for him to have this opportunity. Noah's an outstanding wrestler. He's been excelling at the highest level pretty much since he got here. He won state as a freshman. And you compete against everybody else in 14 weight classes, so he was one of the 14 state champions as a freshman in the state of Texas, 6A wrestling. Noah's accomplishments at Vandegrift are quite impressive, and he set the bar pretty high for anybody to follow. He will go down as one of the top wrestlers to come out of the Austin area and probably out of the state of Texas. Some of his accomplishments are as follows. He was a 3-time district champion, 3-time regional champion, 4-time state placer, all 4 years in the top 3 in the state. He was state champion as a freshman. He was a state runner-up as a sophomore. He placed 3rd in the state as a junior, and we just finished this past Saturday. He placed 3rd in the state as a senior as well. His 4-year record, he had 166 losses and only 14. I'm sorry, that's a lot of losses. We're really blessed to go into the end without any losses. He had 166 wins against only 14 losses. And he's been part of 3 district team titles and 2 regional team titles. And he's been instrumental as far as leadership with the team as well. He kind of brings confidence to the rest of the guys, and he sees the sport a little bit differently than anybody else, so he can kind of talk to the guys, and has done a great job over his 4 years kind of being a leader as well. We wish Noah the best of successes in Indiana, and he would like to thank all the numerous coaches and teammates, many that are here today and watching, that have played a big part in his success. Again, Noah Gosford, signed at Indiana University. Congrats, man.
Hey, okay, that's better. I'm I'm the girls coach here at Vandegrift. I have the pleasure of getting to talk about Elise Platinum as she's going off to play at Colorado School of Mines. Elise has been a part of our program for 4 years. However, she only got to play and compete once, and that was this year. For those of you who don't know the soccer world, there's this thing called Development Academy, and it's the top level of girls soccer. And so Elise was a part of that for 3 years. And it was kind of just like this, okay, maybe this is the year she's going to get to play. And then finally, by the time she was a senior, DA disbanded, and I think Elise was going to play her senior year regardless of whether DA was around or not. And it was just so cool to see how excited all of her teammates were to have her get to come and actually play in a high school season, because it just said so much about her character and the competitive athlete she is. You won't find a more competitive kid. Maybe her sister, I don't know. Those two kind of go back and forth with who's more competitive. And so really fun to have her be a part of our team this year. She scored 10 goals and 10 assists for us this year, which, again, for those of you who don't know soccer, to have double digits in both goals and assists is pretty hard to do. I think only 2 other players on our team were able to do that this year. And so she made big plays for us, both in terms of scoring, but then also setting her teammates up for us to have success this year. She led her team to the 2021 Girls State Final this year. We ended up falling short 2-1, but played a huge role in the success that we had this year. And then I will announce a few of her awards. Our banquet is later tonight, so some of them are still a secret, so I'm going to wait to share those at the banquet. But probably the biggest award, and the one that's already public, is she got first team All-State as a midfielder. And just to put that in perspective, only 4 kids in the entire state get that award for midfields. And so she was one of the kids that got that, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. And then she also was on Academic All-District, Academic All-State, which is awesome. She's going to a super academic school, a super competitive school, and so that will aid her well in her future. So Elise Platinum, Colorado School of Mines, going to see her do great things at the next level. Super proud of her. So, round of applause.
All right, my name is Bobby Courtney. I'm the head soccer coach here at Vandegrift, and I have the pleasure of talking about 3 of our guys. Probably the most we've had at one signing day, so we're very excited for them. I'll start with Quinn. We get to talk about Quinn Collins. Quinn came in as a freshman, made varsity as a freshman. For those that for soccer, to make varsity as a freshman is not an easy thing to do, but he managed to do that and has been a 4-year starter all 4 years at Vandegrift. Starting with a team that did not make playoffs their freshman year to a team that won district, won their first playoff game as a 6A school. So Quinn has really helped change the culture and the fiber of our team. Quinn is one of the hardest working men I know, young men I know, on the field and off the field. We wear GPS player tracking, so we get to track their movements, track their heat signature. Quinn constantly averages, he set the record, constantly averages over 8 miles a game, close to 9 miles a game, so that's 9 miles in 80 minutes. On the field, like I said, one of the hardest working. Off the field, just as hard working. He's ranked in the top 3% at Vandegrift, was a national merit finalist, an IB diploma, graduating IB, and just a ton of success coming with the hard work that he's brought every day. A couple things for Quinn, 4 years. He was 2 first-team All-Districts, Academic All-State this year, first team, 4-time Academic All-District, and just really excited for Quinn. The amount of work he brings in has really changed his program, and he's going to do great things at Colorado School of Mines, so very excited for him. All right, moving on down the line. We're going to talk about Kade Dugan. Kade is signed to play at UNCW, that's University of North Carolina, Wilmington. For those that know about soccer in the state, or just soccer in general, it's very hard to find a D1 school. There's only, I think, 3 or 4 right now in the state of Texas. But for him to be able to complete his goal, achieve his goal of playing Division I, very excited for him, and again speaks to the hard work that he's brought in. I would like to say that we've developed Kade from a young age, but Kade and Ethan both moved here their junior year, so they kind of just fell in our lap and changed the program immediately. Came in and immediately made an impact. His junior year, he was first team all-district, all Vype Austin soccer team, District 13 6A midfielder of the year, a finalist for Austin American States, and a newcomer of the year. He was Tasco second team all-region midfielder, and then of course academic all-district. Senior year, first team all-district, really made an impact, midfielder MVP, really made an impact in the program. And for those that, again, watch soccer, if you were to watch us play, we really like to try and find the ball at our feet. And I would speak with coaches, talking to them about their game plan for us and their strategies. And it was always, if you can prevent number 5 from finding the ball, it'll be very difficult for Vandegrift to have success. So eventually they came down to then trying to man mark him. And it still didn't work. I think there was one game when we had to move him out as his holding mid-role and try and play him more of an attacking role because of the success the other team was having. But he always found a way to make an impact on the field and was a huge part of our success as a program. Really happy for Kade and looking forward to seeing him do great things. Again, another opportunity to talk about Ethan. Ethan is going to the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor to study in international business. Just like Kade, Ethan moved in his junior year. And there's a saying for soccer, you know, talk about a scorer of great goals and a great goal scorer. There's a difference there, it's very subtle. We've managed to find Ethan that does both. And to do that, teams spend millions of dollars. Coaches try and find him, develop him is hard. So to be able to have a natural goal scorer come in junior year and make an impact immediately was such an incredible blessing and the success that we had for our program. And he scored 18 goals and 6 assists his junior year. He earned first team all-district, second team all-Central Texas, honorable mention first team, newcomer of the year finalist, and Tasco second team all-region. Senior year, we didn't think it could get any better than that because that was already successful. His senior year, he scored 30 goals and had 8 assists. He earned first team all-district. He was District 25 6A offensive MVP. He was honorable mention all-state and academic all-state. Throughout his time at Vandegrift, 2 short years, he managed to score, break records, most goals in a season at 30. I think the previous was 23, 22. And he has the most career goals at 48. So just really blessed to have someone like Ethan in the program to be able to come in and make an impact, not only on the field, but off the field, just the character he has and why he does what he does is such an incredible blessing to witness. Can't wait to watch him play, and good luck at everything you're doing.
Congrats, Ethan. Big time. Fun watching all you guys play this year. Great season, too. All right. Caleb Lewis, we're excited about you. I get to talk just briefly about him. I've I've got Coach Young here, so he is going to also talk about him. But the reason we're doing that is Caleb was a football star for us here, but he's getting his next level stuff is going to be in track. He was really good at both things. But real quick before I hand over the mic to Coach Young, Caleb was two-time All-District, academic All-State, academic All-District. He was a captain on our football team. He was a leadership council. And then the one thing I'll say just briefly is his ability to get back positive after his injury and find a way to fight through and recover, and then find a way to contribute to our team with an injury that typically takes 8 months to a year, generally a year to recover. He was running within 5 months. I've literally never seen anything like it, and I think that just goes back to his drive. And so I'll let Coach Young talk a little bit about that. But Caleb, appreciate you, your leadership, and I know you're going to do amazing things. All right? So give it up for Coach Young as he talks about that.
So Caleb is pretty much the total package. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he has great character, cares about his teammates, and has great leadership skills. To say he had a great career in track is an understatement. He has 3 records for Vandegrift. He has the 200-meter dash record, the 4x100-meter relay record, which he might have had a little help from his brother out there, and the 4x200-meter relay record. And he did all of this. He's also a second to none award recipient. He did all of this in essentially 2 years. You know, he had COVID, cut his junior year short, and injuries this year cut his senior year short. So he's had an immaculate career, just amazing. And, you know, when you talk about someone with great character, this year he comes out and he's running really well after his ACL tear. Comes back. He's flying around. He's sub-11 in the 100 early in the season. Almost breaks the 22-point mark in the 200. We're running our relays, running great. And he just keeps having some little injuries that are holding him back. And knew towards the end of the year he couldn't run. We wanted to get him healthy and keep him healthy for Division I college track scholarship. But he did not miss a morning practice. 6:45 a.m. every morning. It's probably raining like it is today. It's probably cold. We're on the track. He didn't miss a day. He's out there. He's helping our freshmen get in blocks. He's helping handoffs, right? He's working lead and warm-ups. And when you have your best player or one of your most talented athletes that's there every day and shows that kind of commitment, it really builds your program up, right? It helps younger kids see what commitment does, and it helps your other kids. Like they're there, he's there, right? And he's there working. And so, you know, I don't think we've even started to tap into your full potential. Like, so what you're going to do at Lipscomb is going to be unbelievable. I look forward to keeping up with you and just watching your career develop. And thank you for all your hard work and commitment to Vandegrift High School. I'm proud of you. Good luck.
All right, come on down, guys. All right, big congratulations again for Caleb. How about it, guys? We've got to do a color change for the parents here because they got. I'm sure y'all recognize the last names. If you don't know the Lewis twins, they have been a mainstay. So we got to get to blue and gray. So I'm going to give them a second to do that. But Caleb, congratulations again. That's really, really special for you. Yeah, welcome in. Right? So now his brother, his twin brother, Bowen, and you know when they came into the football program, they really helped me out because I had a hard time figuring out who was who. And so Caleb always wore long socks, and Bowen always wore short socks. And so they'd walk up to talk to me, and I'd just kind of look down to see what socks was who, and that's who I was talking to. Now I'm getting better where I can tell, I'd say 90% of the time I know exactly what I'm talking to, but every once in a while it still gets me. But they have been such a tremendous addition, both of them have. But let's talk about Bowen a little bit. So Bowen is going to go play football in college at St. Anselm, right? I thought I did pretty good on that. And so he is going to be on scholarship there. He is going to play running back for us. Let's go over his awards. He's got a few of them. He was two-time All-District. He was Academic All-State, Academic All-District. Once again, team captain. So both brothers were team captains. Both brothers were on leadership council. So I think that says a lot about the character of the family and of course the young men. As a junior, at 1,500 all-purpose yards in only 8 games, and his career, 26 touchdowns, which is 5th in VHS history all time, 2,100 rushing yards. So that's 5th in Vandegrift history, and then 3,000 all-purpose yards, which is 3rd in Vandegrift history. And so you're looking at a guy that did that. In addition to that, same thing kind of Coach Young said, where he did it with limited games too. Both of his seasons were cut short due to injury, unfortunately. But I will tell you, he is the epitome of what you would want as a father, what you would want in your child. He has worked hard, he has done it right, and if he had adversity, he fought it and he faced it head on, and he came back and found a way. After his tear, his junior year in the Westwood game, by the way, I've never seen a guy that tore his ACL and still scored a touchdown the next play. I'm still not sure how that happened, but he did that. And after that, though, he looked at us as after he got over that, found out about it, he comes back to us and looks at us as coaching staff. He goes, "Coach, I'll be ready game 1 for you to put me in. I'm going to carry this team. I'm going to do what I need to do." And then he did that. And so couldn't be prouder of him. Well, you're going to do amazing things. And much like Coach Young said to your brother, you're going to hit your stride. You're going to do awesome. And I can't wait to see all the things you're going to accomplish. I hope Mom and Dad got a chance to change colors. All right, y'all come on down. And now let's see what we're doing. Congratulations, one more time. So, parents, get ready for some frequent flyer miles, I guess, huh, guys, as we go support those 2 amazing athletes. So, okay, moving on to, last but not least, Jack Gulledge. So, I'm so thrilled to talk about Jack, and I could actually envision this for Jack when I saw him walk in his freshman year. He's always been tall, he's always been big, he's always been pretty good at football. But I will tell you, though, that him getting to TCU is a direct correlation to how hard he's worked and the never say die attitude that he's had the whole time he's been in that program. His junior year, and this is an amazing story for really every young athlete, but especially our young men in the football program. His junior year, big, strong, but the way it all worked out, he was on JV to begin his junior year. Many young men before him would have quit, or had a parent meeting, or complained. Jack didn't do any of those. All he did was continue to work and said, "I'm going to be the best JV lineman in the history of Vandegrift football." And he was. And then we had an injury, and then he gets pulled up and becomes a starter. And he never relinquished his starting spot after that. And was a starter his whole junior year, and of course, the senior year, we kind of expected that, and he went and crushed and did great things. And then his dream school is TCU. His brother's there. And so we're dreaming about this, and he gets all kinds of, and this is the cool thing about Jack, is he also knows what he wants, and he's going to stick with it. We had all kinds of offers, right, Jack, from all different kinds of schools. And I'd say, "Hey, what about this?" And Jack would be like, "I don't know if I like that." Are you sure? Because it sounded great to me. Like, "No, I really want TCU or something like that." And so we kept sticking with it. And anybody's like, right now, we had guys offering him money, all kinds of stuff. Because if you go stand by him right now, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, He looks like a normal human being sitting there, but he will tower over you. Get ready. He will block you if you try to get past him too. But the one of the things that's cool though is he stuck with what his dream was, and through coach's help, through parents working on it, through him working on it, and of course he had great tape. Lo and behold, he gets a offer from TCU. And so, this is just, we're looking at a dream come true right now, Jack. And I'm telling you, you're going to do an amazing job there. A couple of things, award-wise. Coach Mauser wanted me to say he will remember you for a lot of things, but the number one thing is bad fashion because of your jean jacket you wore every day. Okay, so that's from Coach Mauser. That's critical from Coach Mauser. Of course, all district player was all-state on 2 different teams, so that's amazing. And then also ranked in the top 20 in the entire state as a wrestler. We love our guys, I mentioned it down here, to be multiple sport guys. There's another example where a lot of young men their senior year go, you know what, I'm just going to concentrate on academics. Or I'm just going to get ready for college. He did not do that. He came out and contributed an amazing amount to the wrestling team. We ended up winning the regional title, right? And you contributed to that. Ended up becoming a state alternate. And so, exactly what we want from our young men. So you should be really proud of yourself right now. I hope you are. I know your parents are. So let's get you All right, one more round of applause for Jack and all of our athletes. So, as we finish a couple of things, Merle is going to put this on the site, and so it'll be archived there. So if your friends couldn't watch or whatever else, send that link to them, and now they can watch the signing day. So thanks once again, Merle, for being here. We did have some assistant principals come in. I'd like to always recognize them. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Mr. Fry was, Mr. Heath, did he leave? Yeah. Okay, all right, he was here, so appreciate them. Thanks for being here. That means a lot to the families and to us. And so, families, feel free to take pictures. Hang around. Once again, if you move the thing, just please pick it up. And I don't think I have any other announcements. So appreciate you guys. What a great day. And congrats to these guys. Go back.
Great speech. You just got a little taste of what's